Hello, I'm Jason with scienceandmath.com. Today, mostly what I would like to accomplish is to give you an overview of our site, show you how it works, and how I teach the math from the basic level all the way through the advanced physics and chemistry and calculus that we have at the upper end of the spectrum. The number one thing I want to do before we get into the site tour, though, is really show you and explain to you that how we're going to actually learn these classes. And the number one way is that I teach math by solving problems. That is probably the number one thing that sets it apart. So I do lecture, of course, but mostly I'm interested in teaching you how to solve problems. So we start with more basic problems, and I incrementally increase the complexity of those problems so that you, along the way, get practice and confidence in what you're doing. And so we're showing every single step of every single problem so you're understanding how to do them and walk along with me there. So we're not just doing lecturing, we're actually solving problems. This is a good example of that. This is not a specially prepared slide or anything or board. This is just from a recent lesson I've taught. So you can see I'm introducing the equation, I'm writing down the steps, I'm substituting in some values, I'm showing a graph here, and then we're moving on to a slightly more complicated problem underneath that. And that's how I teach everything, all the way from basic fractions through advanced physics and chemistry and advanced calculus and so on. Another thing is I want to make sure you understand in this set of lessons and the way I teach, we do not do shortcuts. If you're looking for shortcuts, you're not in the right place. I don't believe in shortcuts in math and science. What I'm more interested in doing is giving you a foundation so that you understand how to add fractions, how to multiply, equations together, how to solve more complicated things, but not by taking shortcuts trying to get to the answer, but by understanding fundamentally what to do and solving problems with me to build your skills. So now what I'd like to do is go off to the site and explain to you how we use it, how it's laid out, and how you can navigate around to learn whatever subject it is you're interested in learning. Hello, welcome back. Now what I'd like to do is give you an overview of the site. So here's the homepage of scienceandmath.com. At the top we have some general videos you can jump right into. But what I really want to call your attention to is generally how is the homepage laid out. So we have, of course, all of our student reviews. By the way, every student gets a chance to review our lessons, and at 6 weeks after you become a member. And so everybody puts their opinions in there, and you can see we're really proud of our review count right now. We're up to 1,457 reviews, and of course they're all very good, so I'm proud of that. But as you go down the home page, you get to this section here, most recent lessons released. So you can see I'm releasing lessons every week. You can see the dates are here. And so when you become a member, you automatically have access to the latest and greatest videos that are coming out in all of the classes. And then we have the most recently released courses, which are entire collections of videos. And of course, here's some more of the reviews. Let me jump back up to the top and show you what I really wanted to tell you. Which over here, before you become a member, if you go over here to try all lessons, if you click this link, you're going to be taken to this page. And what we put together is you can essentially watch clips and parts of all the lessons I've created. It's over 1,000 lessons. It's actually close to 2,000 lessons. And you can see here just in the algebra section, the algebra 2 section, you have lots of little lessons you can watch. Some of them are full length, so you can see the entire lesson. Some of them are a few minutes long. I'm a really big believer in showing people what they're getting before they sign up for anything. So you can actually surf around here and watch lots and lots of totally free lessons and then lots of samples to see exactly how I like to teach. So this is just an algebra section here, but you can see the courses on the left. All of these are clickable. So even if you go down, differential equations, that's advanced, an advanced calculus. Within calculus, there's calculus 1, calculus 2. All of these are free lessons you can watch. Let me just go down here and show you engineering circuit analysis. Let's go down to real and reactive power. This is a complicated topic in electrical engineering. So you could watch this lesson in its entirety. And of course, you can watch a few minutes of lots of other lessons within this sequence. And you can do that for every single class I've ever made. So just go up here and click on the try all lessons, and you can literally try every single lesson that I've ever made. So if you go down on the home page and click members login, of course I'm already logged in, but you'll be taken to the login screen, and once you sign in, you'll be taken to this page. This is the dashboard area of the site. So essentially you have a left-hand column of handy links on getting a tour of the site and how to do various things. Where do I get worksheets and such? You have a search box. You can search for lessons and topics. And of course, these are the most recent lessons released, so you can log in and see exactly what's come out since the last time you've logged in. The most important thing is this black menu in the center of the screen. This is the master navigation to dive into every class that you have access to as a member. So for instance, under algebra, you've got your pre-algebra, algebra 1 course, algebra 2 course, and so on. And you just drill down under calculus 1, physics, chemistry, all the way up into advanced engineering, circuit analysis, advanced engineering mechanics, and things like that. So for now, let's just drill into algebra 2, for instance. Let's go take a look at functions and polynomials. And mostly what I want to do is I don't want to teach you about functions and polynomials here, but mostly I wanted to show you exactly how the videos actually work. So you drill down into the class you're watching, and then of course you hit the play button. The lesson of course will start, and just like all video sites, of course you can skip around very readily to whatever part of the lesson is that you need to focus on. And of course you have speed controls here. You can go a little faster, a little slower. But the most important thing I wanted to point out to you is that the video quality of the lessons has been greatly improved over the years with the advent of really high definition camera. So everything that I'm filming nowadays is shot in 4K resolution, which is ultra high definition. So what that really means for the average person is that if you take one of these lessons that's playing in the browser here and you go full screen with it like this and go over to the quality selector, you can crank this guy all the way up to the maximum quality. And essentially you can take and put this video, if you can watch it on a television, on an enormous computer monitor, and you will have crystal clarity of everything there. No graininess, no blurriness, nothing like that, because it's shot in a super ultra high definition quality. And so of course you can skip around, you can adjust the volume, and the quality there is shot in that resolution for everything that I'm releasing nowadays. And let's drill down into something that has a worksheet, because what we want to do is we want to teach by video lessons, but we also then want to learn, to be able to practice our skills. So if we go down here into calculus, for instance, then most of the lessons that we have a link that has a worksheet associated with it. So if I go over here and click that link, then I will be taken to the worksheet page for that lesson. So for instance, here's the worksheets associated with some topic in calculus. And so here are the problems that we're given, and it depends on, the lesson, how many problems we have, but I don't want to make you dizzy here, but you can see we're almost up to 20. Let's see, this section has looks like 24 problems to solve. Now, interestingly, what I'm really trying to do is teach how to do things. So it's not just the answers you get the full solutions with every worksheet. So for problem 8, I'm laying out exactly what the steps to accomplish, and here is the answer. Go to another problem, here's problem 10, and so on. Here's problem 11. I give you the problem statement. You have all of the steps, and then you have the solution. To me, it doesn't do any good to give you the answers if you don't know how to do it. So you're able to practice for every video lesson that has a worksheet. You watch the video, and then you solve problems in the worksheets to practice your skills, and then of course check your answers. Now, one very exciting thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that we're rolling out the idea of what we're trying to do is do interactive quizzes in addition to the worksheet. So after you solve the worksheet, what we're rolling out here in the near term is a collection of quizzes for all of the lessons as well. So this is not live on the site yet. It'll be live very soon, but you can see these are quizzes that are defined in the system for algebra, and we'll have quizzes eventually for all of the classes. And so let's just dive into single step and multi-step equations. Just pick one at random. So this is going to be the quiz associated with solving single-step equations with multiplication and division. So after you watch the video and after you solve the worksheet, you have the option, if you want to take a quiz. So let's go ahead and select some answers at random. I'm not solving these in real time. We're just going to go through. I'm going to answer all 10 questions. Because what I really want to call your attention to, the unique thing about what we're doing here is that for every one of these quiz questions, you're graded, but you also have the full solution. So you're not just getting the answer, you actually can see the solution. So here I scored really badly. Okay, you can retake the quiz if you like to raise your grade, but what I want to do is go over here to review the quiz. So here you can see this is the first problem. It tells me this is the incorrect answer, this is the correct answer, but more than that, it's telling me how to do it. So if you miss a problem in a quiz, you have the steps to go off and to learn what you did wrong. So we go to the next question, same kind of thing. That answer was wrong that we selected. This is the correct answer, but more than that, here are the steps to actually get the correct answer, and so on and so forth. So I could skip through all of these, but the idea is, the same here. So if we go back, I just want to show you really quickly before I jump out of the quizzes. We're putting a ton of work into this. I want to show you that some of the quizzes can have graphs in them, for instance. So here's a graph, an image here. We're going to plot this guy, we can go answer the questions, and so on. And then we can go through the solution as well to figure out what we did wrong, or what we need what we needed to do to get the correct answer. Now, another thing I want to show you that I'm working on, I'm really, really excited about, is for a lot of the new classes, I'm actually integrating visualizations into the class. So, for instance, in some of the latest algebra things I'm doing, I'm putting these interactive visualizations directly into the video. So here's a graph of an equation, y is equal to x squared. And I can change this graph by moving the slider around, and I can change the way this thing looks and notice how the equation itself is updated at the top while the equation shape is updated in the graph below. So I can do interesting things like really make crazy looking graphs like this. The point of this is not to show you what this graph is. The point is that as I teach an algebra lesson, I can use visualizations like this to enhance what I'm doing on the whiteboard, to show you computationally things that are just really superior on the computer to do, and I'm integrating that into the lessons. Here's another example of that. The point of why I did this isn't particularly relevant right now, but you can see that this is a three-dimensional graph that I can rotate on the computer, and I can show you exactly what it looks like. But more interesting than that, I can actually change this thing. So I can drag these sliders, and and the equation actually changes down below, and then I can show you exactly what happened in real time there. So I'm doing that for a lot of the classes in algebra and calculus and beyond, as I kind of like enhance them as I go along. Now, the last thing I want to show you is that when you go back into the members area, of course, you have the central area where you can drill down into the classes, which I already talked about, but you also have access to these message boards. If you click the message board link over here, then, and this is only something that members have access to, I have message boards set up for algebra, trig, calculus, pretty much all of the classes. And if you dive into any of these, for instance, dive into algebra over here, then you can see that people are posting, questions and trying to get answers from fellow students. And so we can go in here and see what, for instance, this one right here, somebody posted a question and I tried to answer it. Other people attempt to answer questions as well. One thing I want to point out is that we do have the ability in the message boards in order to put math directly into the actual messages. So if you have a question, or you're just trying to get other people's opinion, you can just type directly into the message board, and it'll type your math out and make it look nice so that everybody can actually read it. So that's about all I wanted to talk about for the members area of scienceandmath.com. We really tried to make it a place where you can watch your lessons, you can test your skills with worksheets and quizzes, ask for help if you need that, you can search for things, and of course the goal here is to learn every single topic of every single class by solving example problems, from the easy problems all the way to the complex, and in that way you can learn any topic in math. Hi, welcome back. I want to thank you for going through the site tour with me, and I wanted to close with a few remarks about the roadmap for the future. What am I going to be working on? The number one thing that I plan to do as time goes on in the future is apply and update my classes and make them more comprehensive with more example problems. I'd like to also integrate more of the computer visualizations into as many of the classes as I can, because I really think computer enhancements in chemistry and physics and calculus and even in algebra can be really, really beneficial for the student to understand what's going on. And then down the road, I'd really like to continue to flesh out more advanced physics and chemistry, even into quantum mechanics and in organic chemistry. And on the engineering side of things, I definitely plan to continue on into advanced electrical engineering and transistor theory and semiconductor theory and things like that. Also into more general branches of engineering, such as thermodynamics, engineering thermodynamics, such as engineering dynamics and statics. I've already done some of the statics material, but we'll definitely be going into the dynamics material, which is motion, so systems that involve motion. Fluid mechanics, and so on. The sky is really the limit. I really enjoy teaching, but most of all, I enjoy taking complicated looking equations, complicated sounding concepts, and breaking them down into easy to manage bite-sized pieces that hopefully my goal is so that everybody can understand them. And so I really thank you for sticking around, watching this all the way to the end, and I hope that you enjoyed this. And whether you become a member or whether you don't become a member, I hope that you watch at least some of my lessons, and so that I can share my enjoyment and love of math and science with you today.